Don't leave your wishes to chance. Make sure they come true with You Will It, a total package including fill-in-the-blank forms to help you create a basic legal will in your own home. To have it stored safely in a bank vault, always sealed, yet accessible for your review. And to do it all for $15. Don't waste another precious moment. Order You Will It today.
Most people go to their attorney and have a will written to meet their personal needs. However, today we're going to examine an alternative. Ray J. Walter is president of You Will It. It is a new will form, and we're going to be talking about it today. Give him a more welcome.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
For the sake of time, Ray, I'd like to get right into it and
Sure.
find out what this is all about. The legislature in May passed a law that is pertinent to what we're going to be talking about today. In their law, they created two fill-in-the-blank will forms. One is the basic will form, the other is a will form with trust. What your company has done is taken that law, simplified it, and made two forms, two basic wills, one with trust and one without. Is that correct?
Well, actually, the state passed a law that became effective on this last May 2nd, 1984. It actually created the forms. The forms that we supply are directly out of the law. If we go to the piece on the camera, we can see that they are actually right out of the statutes.
Okay, we're going to take a look at that first picture.
Okay.
This is what people receive if they want this basic will, and they do it through you.
That's right, Liz. This is the actual form, and you can see the second line indicates that they are right out of the statutes. What the state does, you can see getting towards the bottom of the picture that the state actually puts a number of notices, information that the individual filling out the will should know about. And what we do is we supply the actual forms. The state did a great thing when they came up with the law, but the forms weren't readily available. And that's what we do. We offer a package that includes two of each of the will forms. If we go to the next piece, you'll also see that there are, the actual form is fill in the blank. That is, there are boxes that an individual can fill out to prepare the will themselves.
Okay, and what about, there it is right there, that's the information, fill in the blank kind of will form that...
Right, exactly. In the first box, you'll see that it says first full name of person or charity to receive gift. The second box says amount of cash gift or description of property. And the third box says signature of testator. An individual can go through and fill out. There is on the next page a spot for an individual to name a guardian if they so choose. It says if you have a child under 18 years of age, you should name at least one guardian of the child. That's provided towards the bottom of the page as you see it there. And also, at the end of the actual form, there's a statement of witnesses, and it says you must use two adult witnesses. When an individual has gone through the form and completed it as they see fit, they've actually created their own will.
Now, Ray, I have some questions for you. First of all, I was always under the impression that you could make your own will in the state of Wisconsin before this law was even passed.
Okay. I'm not an attorney, and I can't tell you what the legal meaning of doing a will and what all needs to be included. But I can tell you that the state saw fit to create some actual forms to make it easier for people.
Now, all of this information, you pulled this from state law, is available in the library. Someone could go to the library and get this information, make up their own will. You're offering a service here. I have one question for you. I looked through this before the show, and it was a little confusing for me. And my comment was that I might need an attorney to interpret this.
Okay, the legislature designed the forms to be basically self-explanatory. What we suggest to people is that they read all the information that's included in our package. As we mentioned, there are notices that the state makes a part of the form, as well as on the last page there are definitions and other information. We supply two of each of the forms, the basic will and the basic will with trust, and we suggest that an individual sit down with the entire package and then decide what's best for them. If they think that they need an attorney, then by all means they should seek legal advice. In the package, we also include informational pamphlet on wills and estate planning. And another one of the problems people forget about is when the time comes, the will is nowhere to be found. We take care of that problem as well. We've had a lot of folks tell us that they did a will and put it in their desk drawer 5 years ago, and they don't know where it is. The will doesn't do any good, obviously, unless it's there when the time comes. What we do is we supply what we call a coded envelope that an individual puts their will inside, seals, and sends off to us. We never break the seal on the envelope. We take it from the post office and put it in a bank vault safe deposit box. We take information off the back of the envelope and put it in a master computerized listing. And the individual also gets a will location card. What that is a piece that the individual puts in their wallet or purse, and if something happens, that's one of the first places folks will go through.
So with the card, they can locate the will?
They'll find that it's deposited with us, and when they let us know, we take the coded envelope that has their will inside, and again, we never break the seal. And we provide it directly to the proper authority. In most cases, that's the probate court.
Now, Ray, I have some questions for you.
Sure.
I think that it's important. I understand the concept here, and I can appreciate it. There are many people that never make a will and should make one. This is a way of simplifying that. However, in some respects, I think the form is confusing. And I have a question for you. When it comes to leaving your property, and with all the probate laws today, why you wouldn't have a will written to your personal needs? I mean, this is a standard form, is it not? It really doesn't meet an individual needs. Don't you think some of these wills will be contested down the line? Don't you see a problem with this?
Well, again, I'm not an attorney, and I can't give any kind of legal advice, and we don't purport to give legal advice. What we do is we take the forms that the state actually came up with, and we thought it was a great idea that the legislature came up with the forms, and we make them readily available to folks.
Now, you charge $15 for this service, which is very economical.
Right.
I think to have a simple will made, it costs somewhere between $30 to $50. There are attorneys in Milwaukee that will do a simple will for $30 to $50, slightly more, but personalized to your specific needs.
Well, you personalize the forms yourself, Liz, by filling out the boxes which is appropriate for you. So in a sense, you do that by yourself. And also, the storage service is of utmost importance. As we talked about, a lot of folks do wills and they're not available when the time comes. So we make sure that they are. We also send a reminder after 33 months that says it's been almost 3 years. You might want to consider reviewing your will. The individual doesn't have to do that, but if they choose to, they may. Also, I'd point out that the storage service is available for individuals who have a traditionally drafted will. Because we never break the seal on the envelope, the individual may use one of the forms that we supply, or they may have an attorney draft the form. Either way, we can help them with the storage service. And we provide this entire package for $15, including state sales tax.
It's an interesting concept, and it will be interesting to see it come to fruition.
Thank you.
As I said, I have a question about it in some respects. The fact that a will is such a very important document, and it's worth an investment of time and
it is.
Perhaps the help of an attorney somewhere down the line.
You're absolutely right. In some cases, that's absolutely required. And again, we suggest that people read over the information, and if they have questions, by all means, seek legal advice.
Well, Ray, it's an alternative, and we want to thank you so much for being on the Moore Show.
Thank you, Liz.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay? We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with a very lonely guy.